Have you ever wondered why some people reach their 80s with strength, while others seem to fade much earlier? It's a difficult question. But it's an important one. Many people believe long life is mostly luck. Good genes. Good fortune. A bit of chance. And yes, luck plays a role. But here's the truth most people discover too late. Living well after 80 is rarely accidental. It's usually the result of awareness. Small choices. Quiet habits repeated over many years. You see, the body doesn't suddenly become fragile one day. It changes slowly. Quietly. Often invisibly. And there are a few powerful forces that work beneath the surface as we age. Forces that most people never notice, until their energy fades, their balance weakens, or their mind becomes foggy. The goal of this conversation isn't to frighten you. Quite the opposite. It's to give you understanding. Because understanding gives you options. And options protect something very precious. Your independence. Your ability to wake up in your own home, move through your day, and live life on your own terms. That's freedom. That's dignity. Today we're going to talk about 4 quiet factors that affect many people after the age of 80. They don't usually arrive with loud warning signs. They appear gradually. Almost politely. But if you recognize them early, you can often soften their impact. Let's begin with the first one. Silent inflammation. Doctors sometimes call it inflammaging. Now that may sound like a complicated medical word, but the idea is actually simple. Over time, the body can develop a low, steady level of internal inflammation. Not the kind you see when a joint swells after an injury. This is quieter than that. It lives inside the body. In the blood. In the tissues. In the organs. And slowly, year after year, it can begin wearing the body down. Here's what most people don't realize. Inflammation can build from ordinary parts of daily life. Processed foods. Constant stress. Poor sleep. Long hours of sitting. Even the air we breathe in busy environments. None of these things cause immediate harm. But together, over decades, they create a slow burn inside the body. And that slow burn can increase the risk of heart disease, memory decline, joint stiffness, and a weakened immune system. Let me tell you about Thomas. Thomas was 82. A thoughtful man. Never smoked. Rarely drank. He took walks most mornings. Yet he often felt tired. His joints felt stiff. And sometimes his thinking seemed just a little cloudy. His routine blood tests looked normal. But a specialist eventually found something subtle. His body was carrying higher levels of inflammatory markers. Nothing dramatic. Just a quiet fire burning in the background. Once Thomas began making small changes, more whole foods, better sleep, daily movement, something interesting happened. His energy slowly improved. Because when inflammation cools down, the body begins to recover its balance. Not overnight. But gradually. And that's the encouraging part. You don't have to make extreme changes. Often, simple habits matter most. Walking each day. Choosing natural foods more often. Sleeping well. Small steps. But small steps can lower the flame. And when the flame lowers, the body breathes easier. That's the beginning of resilience. Now let's talk about the second quiet force many people face as they age. Muscle loss. Let me ask you something simple. When you stand up from a chair, do you notice how it feels? Does it feel smooth and easy? Or just slightly slower than it used to? These little moments tell us something important about aging. Because after the age of 60, the body naturally begins losing muscle. Slowly at first. Almost unnoticeably. But after 80, the process tends to accelerate. Doctors call this sarcopenia. And here's what most people misunderstand about muscle. It's not just about strength. Muscle is stability. Muscle protects your joints. Muscle keeps your balance steady. Muscle helps regulate blood sugar and metabolism. In many ways, muscle is like a quiet bodyguard for the rest of your health. Without it, everyday tasks become harder. Opening jars. Climbing stairs. Getting up from the floor. Let me tell you about Phillips. Phillips was 84. Friendly. Independent. Still living in the same house he'd owned for 40 years. He believed he was still strong enough for most things. But one afternoon he tripped over a rug. The fall itself wasn't dramatic. But the result was serious. He fractured his hip. During recovery, Frank realized something difficult. His strength had been fading slowly for years, and he simply hadn't noticed. You see, muscle loss rarely announces itself. It whispers. But the consequences can be loud. Falls. Broken bones. Weeks of bed rest. And unfortunately, long periods in bed often lead to even more weakness. But here's the hopeful part. Muscle can respond to attention at almost any age. You don't need heavy gym equipment. You don't need extreme workouts. Often the most powerful actions are very simple. Regular walking. Light resistance bands. Gentle stretching. Even small movements signal the body to preserve strength. And strength means stability. That's real independence. The ability to move confidently through your home, through your day, through your life. If this idea resonates with you, take a moment and comment number 2 below. It lets us know you're here, and thinking about these ideas. Now there's another factor that quietly shapes health after 80. Sleep. And many people underestimate its importance. Sleep changes as we grow older. Most people notice it eventually. Falling asleep may take longer. Nighttime awakenings become more frequent. Sleep sometimes feels lighter than it once did. Many seniors assume this is simply unavoidable. But the truth is, sleep still matters deeply. Because during sleep, the body performs some of its most important work. The brain clears out waste. The immune system resets. Cells repair and restore themselves. Without enough restorative sleep, the body struggles to maintain balance. Memory becomes less sharp. Energy fades. Small irritations feel larger. Let me tell you about Alice. Alice was 86. She had grown used to waking up 3 or 4 times each night. She thought it was simply part of aging. But over time she noticed changes. Her memory felt slower. She became tired during the day. And she seemed to catch every cold that came around. After speaking with her doctor, she began adjusting a few small habits. A consistent bedtime. Less caffeine in the afternoon. Morning sunlight. A cool, quiet bedroom. Nothing dramatic. But over several weeks, her sleep deepened. And something wonderful followed. Her clarity returned. Her energy improved. Because sleep is not just rest. Sleep is repair. But there's one more quiet influence on health after 80. And it may be the most overlooked of all. Loneliness. As the years pass, life naturally changes. Friends move away, or pass on. Children build lives in other cities. Mobility sometimes becomes limited. And gradually, the world can grow smaller. Let me tell you about Bill. Bill is 88. His wife passed away several years ago. His children live in other states. His home is comfortable. Quiet. Well kept. But some days pass without a single conversation. And what he misses most isn't activity. It's feeling needed. Feeling connected. The human heart is built for relationship. For shared moments. For purpose. Without those things, motivation can quietly fade. But purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be small and beautiful. Caring for plants. Calling a friend. Helping a neighbor. Writing letters. Feeding birds in the morning. These simple acts create rhythm. And rhythm creates meaning. Meaning is powerful medicine. So if you know someone over 80, or if that season of life is approaching for you, ask an important question. What gives your day a sense of purpose? Protect that answer. Because purpose keeps the spirit awake. And when the spirit stays awake, the body often follows. As we finish today, remember this. Many challenges people face after 80 come from 4 quiet forces. inflammation, muscle loss, poor sleep, and loneliness. But awareness changes everything. Small daily habits, repeated gently, can preserve strength, clarity, and independence for many years. That's quiet strength. And that kind of strength grows with wisdom. If this conversation brought you value, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Because sometimes a simple piece of knowledge becomes a sturdy cane for the journey ahead. And that kind of support can make